This young man was a promising young man who was a farmer and a hard-working young man. And he recently won the Prime Minister Youth Awards for agriculture, and he was an excellent farmer. He was having very successful ventures in agriculture in terms of strawberry farming and a number of other crops and things that he would have planted. So this is quite shocking, and it's something that I am trying to wrap my fingers around, because this is a young man that hardworking, dedicated, committed, somebody who is a contributing member of society in a positive way and a role model to the community.
Now, people, isn't it a sad state of affair when you can live in Jamaica, live a decent life, and still get cut down like a dog in the street? Such is the case. Based on the voice note that you just heard, that is the MP for the year. His name is Mr. Mitchell, Mario Mitchell to be specific. He is speaking about a young youth, 29-year-old CJ Cunningham. This youth is a hard-working farmer. This youth is a hard-working tiler. This youth is a very ambitious role model in the community, like you hear the man say. However, at about 5:45 on Friday in Manchester, Mr. Mitchell, along with a next man, 33-year-old, lost their life. Based on information, they were in a house tiling when persons heard multiple rapid gunshots. When the po-po were called, they saw Mr. Mitchell and the next man. Mr. Mitchell was pretty much dead. He was rushed to the hospital. However, too many head wounds. Not very good for your health. So you hear the MP, Mr. Mitchell from the PNP talking. He is saying that this youth was a promising farmer, tiler, hardworking young man, excellent farmer. He has all the latest technology. As a matter of fact, this youth was the recipient of the 2022 PM Farmer for Young Farmers Award. So therefore, so this youth is up there with the bestest of them in the farming, in the community. People look up to him. One thing that we've realized in Jamaica, like me say, you can live a wholesome, clean life. And because of your success, it makes you a target. People, like me say, don't know the specifics, the motive why this youth lost his life. Don't know if you have any sorts of family that are involved. There is no information, evidence to substantiate those claims. What I do know, people will see you, and because you're doing good, them are going to say you're too hype. There's a thing that goes something like this: misery loves company. So therefore, if people living a miserable life and they see that you are progressing, you are having success, it gives them some sorts of heartache. It gives them some sorts of hurt. It gives them some sorts of pain. So therefore, because they are miserable, they might want you to be miserable. People, like me say, no sorts of motive has been established as yet. So therefore, it could be coming from anything. The way that these people lost their life, the fact that he was conned up multiple times in the head, it tells you he was the target. The next man got hit in the leg. That man is still alive. People, what this shows you, Jamaica is a very sad place. You can live your life doing all the right things, putting in the hard work and dedication, staying away from the elements of crime, easy money, easy lifestyle, and still end up just like the person, even worse than the person that is living a life of criminality. So it seems as if it is only through the mercy of God, the right situation, right circumstance, the right place. If you surround yourself or you are in the company of heathenous people, people that are wicked, no matter if you live a wholesome life, you could end up living or dying like a dog in the street. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called there are always 2 to 3 sides to every story, his side, her side, and the truth. However, those three stories can also have all sorts of twists and turns. I am speaking about a young youth, Carson Barrett, that lost his life in Westmoreland a couple of days ago. He attended the Grange Hill High School. In the evening, about 5 or so, he was coming from his inter-sports day, him along with the next girl. When it is said that some men roll up on a bike, a yang that is, run them down and GUN them down, Mr. Barrett, Carson ran in one direction and the next girl or the girl ran in a separate direction. He was run down and blazed up a couple of times, multiple times that is. After this youth lost his life, there were all sorts of rumors circulating that this youth was involved, this youth was entangling in all sorts of dirty bungle. His name was being called up, saying that he was a part or he had some sorts of affiliation with the King Valley gang that operates out of Westmoreland. Parents say, not no go so guardian, his mother and father presently resides overseas. Information is that this youth was not such a bad youth like the picture that was painted after he lost his life. Yes, he might have known some people because they are from the same community. However, it does not mean no evidence to substantiate that yes, he is involved. He is going out there robbing, extorting, taking away person's life. Him just know the people. Him and them come from the same community. You can't really turn your back upon people where you know. Even when you know so them involved because you might be looked upon as being high. So the point that I am trying to make, now that the story is unfolding, now that the story is twisting, the twist and turn in this story, it is said that this youth lost his life. The possible, more likely motive is because of some sorts of girl. Was it the same girl, 16-year-old, I think she was, that got caught up along with him, people? Me no know. But based on information that is out there, it is said that he was getting all sorts of threats from a gang member affiliated with one of the two gangs, whether it is King Valley or Anspassy gang that operates in the space. It seems as if he did not take those threats too good. He did not take heed, and he would heed or end up losing his life because of that. Now, people, when we hear the two stories that were circulating, either one of them is sad because if this youth decides that him are going in some sorts of gang and him lose him life, that in itself is tragic. However, when we hear that a youth loses life, little youth, teen, lose him life for your next teen because of some sorts of man in a some sorts of gang, in a some sorts of feeling, him a carry belly for the man over the girl. We should not be surprised. When it comes to criminal elements, they lack conscience, they lack reasonability, they are jealous, they are obsessive, they are possessive. So therefore, if people, me no know if him and this girl, who is the point of contention that caused this little youth to lose his life, were even together, or the man just like the girl and feel say, this youth shouldn't be with the girl, or if the boy take with the girl from the gangster people. Me no know the specifics. Like me say, it a twist and turn. The story is unfolding. But this is very tragic. But we should not be surprised. Whenever it comes to criminal elements, what makes person go or be criminals is that they lack heart, they lack reasonability, they lack rational. So whenever persons don't have any sorts of conscience, they are very selfish. You could expect just about anything. There's nothing too low that they would not do. Expect anything, even the worst arrest. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, it is quite obvious that these taxi men are being targeted. If you've been watching the news, keeping up, we know that there's all sorts of upheaval as it pertains to Spanish Town. In the bus park, those type of businesses. So it seems as if the taximen have been getting the backlash because them things because there is no sorts of order, there is still order, there is still clansman. The fees still have to be paid. I am assuming that that might be the motive why we've seen at least 3 taximen being targeted. One off of Jones Avenue in a Spanish Town, one in a Clarendon, and again in a Greater Portmore. I am going to show you the edited version of a video in which one such taximan was conned up multiple times by an assailant that pretty much rolled up and in some sorts of bag, wheel and pop out, blaze up the taximan a couple of times. Now you and I know because of YouTube's policy against certain things, I can't show the full video. However, I am going to show you when the taximan back up the vehicle, the man roll up, walk up with some sorts of bag in his hand, some sorts of tool in the bag, him then wheel and pop off, run up on the taximan, blaze him up a couple of times, stood over him, give him a couple of more. However, when that GUNMAN tried to exit the scene, unfortunately for him, there was either a license firepiece holder or a popo off duty that blazed up a couple of cans on him. Because of how close they are, I am assuming that the GUNMAN also got GUNSHOTS. Watch the edited version and then I'll give my piece.
Reverse the backside. Ooh, they're gonna look in, man. It's a night time, you're gonna come here.
And she that call me the funny girl. She may take her hold me hand or hustle to me.
They might go drop phone and start to cover with Jesus. I know why the man then come in here. We don't know if the man them come in here.
Kondua.
And the crowd
If he can't remember, so we don't know if a robbery or them.
Yeah.
We don't know where going out there, nothing. So we don't know if man a come down this side.
Me think say in a shame store.
See Rasta girl, you know. A fear, she a go for fear, but hey, that girl look it.
Look, you know.
Right side, right.
Let me know how she run. She shoot her, come down there.
The queen there, maga foot them and come.
Just drop, man.
Careful them.
She shoot, see man take him on the phone there.
Watch you,
On the phone.
see my easy one.
Put it.
Look how long it take them.
Push.
Yes,
he man take him and same time, you know.
See him tell say because him a run. Let me try to say because him a run, brother.
Ah, the man that they shot with the bag.
Yeah.
Man roll.
They don't have enough shot in fire then.
You know, you shot them.
Now people, like I said, this man come with a plan to take out the taximan. However, unfortunately for him, fortunately for Jamaica, the license firepiece holder or the popo off duty plainclothes blaze up a couple of cans on him. So we should kind of hope that he ends up DEAD or ends up in one of our fine hospital place of recovery with no sorts of recovery. As soon as I get some more pertinent information, I'll be sure to divulge ASAP, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called This Is What Happens When You Have the Fox, the Wolf and the Hyena to watch the chicken coop. This is what happens when you put persons in certain position that they are not fit for. I am speaking about an incident that occurred at the University of the West Indies, Huey, a couple of days ago, where it is said that a security guard that was employed there through one of those security companies hold on, jump over the fence on a little picnic. I think that she was 9 or she is 9. Now people, the story is getting even worse because more details are coming out from the family and persons who were on the phone with this little child. Luckily that this little child had the sense of mind and feistiness, characteristics to kind of defend herself, even though she was no sort of match with some sorts of big man. However, she prevented a bad situation from getting worse. So based on the information that is now out by some interview that was done by family members of this little picnic, it is said that the security was manning the place when him see the little picnic him approach her, grab her, push her down, drag her in some sorts of bush, pull down him pants, take out him little tea leaf for inserts. However, what he did not realize, this little pitney obviously saw or spot the rake, was on the phone before our call when she realized that her life was in danger. A family member was on the phone. That family member alerted the popo, alerted other family member. It was when it seems as if the person that she was going to got the call and heard all sorts of screaming and come from some sorts of bushes. It was when the security pull up him pants and try to take for himself. He was later held. Obviously, the security company that is assigned would know who was working that shift, so therefore he was caught. He is presently locked up. Now, people, can you imagine this man as security guard? Supposed to be securing the place, supposed to be making sure some people safe, meaning the student, the doctor, the teachers, faculty member, any and everybody involved. However, him did it on a pre to jump over a fence of one little picnic who happened to be there, probably going to see some family member that works there, I am assuming. Now, people, when you hear stuff like this and how extreme and sad it is, we can only assume that this was not this man's first paradas. That means that him do it before. Because based on what this little girl and based on the conversations that were heard on the phone, he was threatening this little picnic if she not shut her mouth, him or K-I-L-L her. However, this little child, like Mr. Feisty, kind of spunky, make some sorts of alarm, ball out, plus was on the phone. So therefore, she saved herself. However, people, after such a traumatic episode, can you imagine the ripple effect, the domino effect that is going to have on this little picnic for the rest of her life? Pretty much she is going to be scarred. Now, people, what it shows us is that Jamaica is such a reactive place instead of being proactive. Because we see the university now is clearing out all sorts of bushes. Now, people, I am going to say this. I am Jamaican, however, I can say this. Jamaican people are worthless. Them not make any sorts of move. They are not making any sorts of preparation, meaning they are always reactive instead of proactive. So them are cut out the bush now. Why is it that you have a big place like the University of the West Indies and you have all sorts of bushes that surround where you have girls, women working there? Don't you think that it is good to make preventative measures or take preventative measures? Don't wait till somebody get hurt, somebody lose them life, somebody get them fence, jump over before you make move. But people, we understand Jamaica have a worthless, negligent attitude in everything that they do. Somebody have to either DEAD or end up in the hospital before any sorts of move is made. That should have been sensible. That should have made prior to anything like this happening. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.